right, a great afternoon and once again to everyone who has joined us on today's edition of the show. Today is the 245th day in the year 2025, the second in the 9th month of the year 2025. So we say, let's discuss about sporting stories that make it around today in the world of sports. Yes, Peter went through some of the headlines this morning, but this afternoon we'll take a look at those headlines, or some of those headlines, and then we talk about them proper, with the likes of Bayer Leverkusen in the transfer window, from the appointment of Erik ten Hag as the new head coach of the side to almost all the players leaving this club side. And then you talk about a rebuild. But time was not enough for Erik ten Hag. Just 2 games into the German Bundesliga season, he was fired. Outside that, we discuss about the short of the summer transfer window for English football, or we say for Europe top 5 leagues. The Turkish transfer window is still open. They can get players from other leagues. But then in England, the deal for 𝐒𝐈𝐒, the captain of Crystal Palace, wasn't able to go through yesterday as Crystal Palace saw the replacement for 𝐒𝐈𝐒 also didn't go through. And then we discuss about Isak on the show this afternoon. Yes, he left for Newcastle Football Club, but for Newcastle, they dropped a statement. How many words was it that they dropped? We'll take that in comparison to the likes of Manchester United, who dropped the 171 word for Anthony, for Arsenal 190 words for Sambi Lokonga, and for Ben Chilwell 124 word from Chelsea. But then there is one man where Newcastle, they definitely expressed their disappointment in the way the Swedish international, who is age 25, went about his exit from the Magpies. We discussed about Favour of Philly also on the show this afternoon. Yes, the rumors about her switching her allegiance, it's all true now. She released a statement yesterday. But then outside that, we discussed about the negligence of those at the helm of affairs of Nigerian athletics at the Paris Olympic Games just last year. How Nigeria failed. Favour of Philly wasn't listed for the 100 meters, but she gave her best in the 200 meters. And she was asked a question on social media yesterday. Those who were there, the culprits, did they still have their job? Was there an apology? Well, Favour of Philly response was no. She didn't get an apology, and those guys, they still have their job. And then we'll switch our focus to talk about Nigerian football. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, most of them are getting in town. 13 players in camp as we talk right now, if not more. And then we'll discuss about the Nigeria Premier Football League also on the show. So these and so many more we'll discuss on today's edition of the program right on 32 FM 94.9. Scoreboard Reloaded it is, and you're listening to the voice of Oluwatimilei SAMIES. I have Peter and DOLAPO with me in the studio, and together we take a look at all of these developments in the world of sports. Good afternoon, guys.
Thank you. I'm DOLAPO. SAMIES to be here. It's good to be on this side of the studio.
Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, SAMIES, and good afternoon to everyone who has joined us on the show this afternoon.
All right, let's start straight from the hottest of all, where it is all about the transfer window. Yes, for so many club sides, they've completed the deal to get players, and we'll see once the international break is over, players will start making their impact. They'll start giving impact or making impact with their club sides. But I want to ask both of you, your biggest, we'll say maybe the team that did the best job. I know Peter asked you yesterday, that was about the English Premier League, but we'll look at it in the world of football generally now, from Europe top 5 leagues. Even maybe we can discuss about Nigerian football. We'll talk about the transfer window and then the Turkish transfer window. All of these are players. Which team did you see make the best move in getting players to strengthen their folds going into the 2025-2026 football season?
Well, they didn't get 𝐒𝐈𝐒, but it still looks like it's Liverpool for me with the numbers of signings they've made and the type of players they've signed in. It looks like they are the team that's gotten a whole lot of good players. You can see the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United also got a player. The Italian side, Napoli got Rasmus Højlund, Kevin De Bruyne. AC Milan brought in Luka Modric. But Real Madrid also got in some players. Barca got, I think the only player I can say the top player they bring in is not really top, is Marcus Rashford. So Barca is not in the mix. But for me, I think it is just Liverpool, the kind of players they brought in for a team that their highest scorer in the league last season played for them. Now they are adding someone who scored 23 goals in the league last season in a Newcastle United team. bringing him to the league. They have Kakes, they have the likes of Jeremy Frimpong, and Weeds. With this team, I think Liverpool were the ones who got the best of this transfer window. And then the money says it as well, £433 million. They have done the best business so far.
Well, that's for DOLAPO. Well, let me just ask Peter, the flip side of it. Which team did you see bad business in the summer transfer window?
Well, when you say bad business, that can be a little bit subjective. Teams want to sign players. Some of them have got issues. As similar comes to mind in terms of teams that didn't do well. But remember that you can't blame them because they've been hampered.
Can you pitch your tent also outside England in the world of football generally?
Yeah, because of the viewership of the Premier League. If I say if Real Sociedad didn't do well, watch them compete in Europe and look at where they are. Sold Zubimendi for about 60 million. They invest the money well. I've watched them in La Liga, been very bad, terrible. You remind yourself that Athletic Club Bilbao are playing the Champions League. They are not. There's Villarreal in the Champions League. They are not. So if I move away from England, I would say Real Sociedad, the Basque club, didn't do well. Bayer Leverkusen also didn't do well. You were talking about Ten Hag the other time. You can begin to read the names of players who left the club side, and you say, how come you get about 160 for Florian Wirtz, and where did you put the money? Did you take the money to a cooperative to put, or where? Or you put the money in some properties? I know I'm just saying that, but where's the money? Did you invest? So it calls to question the sack of Erik ten Hag. 2 matches, you told him to go, and where did you put the money? So outside of England, I say Villa. In England, rather, I say Villa. Outside of England, Real Sociedad, Germany. What's the name now? Bayer Leverkusen. In Italy, I wanted to mention AC Milan, but I need to hold my breath because quite bad, not bad. If Rabiot deal goes through, I've not had anything, but I'm hoping that it is what it is that can kind of push that one away from him. I know that Olympic Marseille have gone for Matt O'Reilly, the former Celtic and who played for Brighton, and have jumped over to the Velodrome to play for the 𝐔𝐈𝐒 side. So maybe those a few ones I can just say, I wish they were putting their money. I know you'll probably be pinching me and say, you didn't mention Manchester United. They had the funds. There was nothing stopping them from not signing. Unlike Villa, if they had that fund, they would have gone for Marco Asensio. They would have gone. There was no point for them selling Jacob Ramsey, but they did just to see if they can get money. The deal for Dibu Martinez didn't happen. They would have wished it happened because they would have used the money to probably invest in a few players in the last
but then he signed
few
a
hours.
contract extension.
Sancho joined on loan. You probably say
80% of the salary.
If they wanted Sancho in the first place, they would have gone for him from day one. So it's like, I thought at all, 9 bad for Emery. So that's just me in terms of the clubs didn't do business. And like I said, Villa, the other teams had money to do business. Real Sociedad and Bayer Leverkusen, but they did not, and they will pay for it.
They had the money to do the business, but they failed to get players. But before we talk about Bayer Leverkusen and Erik ten Hag, let's still stay within England, that's English football, and talk about Alexander Isak. For his club side, that's talking about his former club side now, Newcastle. They released their statement, and for the statement released, how many words was it they used to say Alexander Isak is out of the club side? A 37-word statement. Newcastle being blunt with the way Alexander Isak left the club side. So the statement reads, it is said that Newcastle United can announce the sale of striker Alexander Isak to Liverpool for a significant British record transfer fee. The Sweden international joined the Magpies from Real Sociedad in 2022 and made 109 appearances in all competition. Ends. Newcastle to the entire football community. The statement. Compared to what I said earlier, 171 words for Anthony, who was also more like pushed out of the club side, that's Manchester United. 190 words for Sambi Lokonga, who last played for Arsenal in the 2022-2023 season. And in 124 words for Ben Chilwell, who left Chelsea as well. So this is the circumstance in which we found ourselves. Then the world of football. Newcastle, maybe keeping it short and simple. The striker, he left, but we had our money.
They are not keeping it short and simple. They wanted to show it very well. They are showing it. We don't want you here. You showed us the way you did us bad. So we would show you too. If you look at everything they wrote, no thank you. I looked at every team that got their player leaving their team yesterday or even during the transfer window. You see them go online or write
even on loan.
On loan, they come in, write thank you, show videos of when he was playing for them sometimes, or give a good statement. They were very short. They are not even ready to put the number of goals he scored. They were like, in 3 years he played 109 games. He didn't get injury. Like, they are trying to show you this guy is not the type of players that we respect again. The fans already start giving him names. Nobody wants him in the squad again, and they feel like he betrayed them. But I kind of understand the angle Alexander Isak is coming from as well. He probably wants to just do like, I've done my best here, 3 years here. I want to move. If I'm not doing this, probably they won't allow him move. And maybe if he was not like that, he might still be there today. He might still be playing for Newcastle United. But when you look at this very well, Isak made them pay way too much for Jan Wissa. £55 million. They were submitting 35, 30 throughout the transfer window until the last day when Wissa dropped also a statement online, and they were like, okay, it looks like Brentford are not ready to lower how much they are asking for. They submitted 55. They went on to sign Watmade from Stuttgart as well for close to £75 million. I call that a panic buy for someone who was not even registered for Stuttgart in the Champions League until January. He scored 12 goals in the league. He performed well on the Euros under 21. But you can see it very well. It's just like what you want to call a one-season wonder. He came into the team and banged everything. But they could not get anybody. They went for Liam Delap, João Pedro, Benjamin Sesko. Everybody keeps on turning them down. And they had to panic buy those two guys at the end of the day. So they felt like, you betrayed us, we'll do you bad too. Anywhere you go, just go. We've collected our money. You see, they came on to write a significant British fee. We got our money from him. But I don't really think the way they've treated him, like, they should have just done better. They should have just dropped a video or something good instead of what they did.
Well, in 109 appearances, in 86 Premier League appearances, he scored 54 goals. And he qualified Newcastle for 2 UEFA Champions Leagues, played in the finals of the Carabao Cup twice. They lost one, they won one. Is this the way also to go for Newcastle, Peter, in describing Alexander Isak?
It hasn't been the best. One question on my mind when the window closed last night, 7, was, so is this the way to go now for players? Is this the proper example that we want players? Jan Wissa got his move.
First,
rascality, that.
Yeah.
Victor Gyökeres, rascality. Alexander Isak, we also saw that played out. And for the one who did not, who was good, who captained his side, got them a winner, look at what happened to him. I know that they say life is not fair. Mark Guy, he didn't get his move away from Villa. 𝐒𝐵𝐶 got his move, he's got his blessing. I saw Villa fans spoke highly about him. Some even said when Arsenal is not playing Crystal Palace, they will support Arsenal. That's Crystal Palace fans because they love 𝐒𝐵𝐶. These guys never put in any, they didn't have any rancor. They didn't go crazy, they didn't miss training. Ademola Lookman quickly went back because he felt this is not going to work. And I just say to myself, if you're not careful, this is what agents would tell players the next summer. You know what? There's a precedent. Look at what this and this did, and they got their move. Do the same also, you get their move. This thing is not helping football. It's not. And I'm not surprised about Newcastle's release. They don't want him to go, but they've got no choice. And so they say, you know what? We'll also pay you back. You were telling me about Alejandro Garnacho.
He released a statement already.
Okay, maybe it was
put, Manchester United
maybe it was put under pressure to do that. That takes a longer time. 48 hours? Who does that? I saw Wissa put out a statement how he loved Brentford, blah, 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 blah. But again, this does not speak well for football. So put this down. 2nd of September. By the time we return, the next summer of 2026, by His grace, we'll all be alive. More players will go this route. They will do it. And they will say, there's not anybody who will do to me. And guess what? They will be saying there's a gentleman agreement that you said I'm going to leave. Now I will not go to train again. They will put those clubs, they will box them. And I hope that clubs are also learning their lessons. Newcastle Eddie Howe should write a book after his stint with Newcastle about how all of this played out. Something that happened behind the scene that we did not get to see.
All right. Well, you made mention of Juan Wissa, and there's something just that got my attention in his unveiling. He was asked where he's from, and he said France. Then I wonder what happened to Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yes, but players are switch allegiance, like your favorite Philly says.
We'll still get to that. Yeah, but he's playing for the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yeah.
And I wonder why he said France. But we move away from that.
Do you know Charles Mbemba, the captain of DR Congo? Played for Porto, played for Newcastle. He also will say the same thing. Some of them have got French passports. Yes,
but then he's playing for DR Congo, isn't it?
No, it is. The question is not which country are you playing for?
Where are you from?
Where are you from?
It's different from which country are you playing for.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for that clarity. There you heard from Peter. That question is not what country are you playing for, but where are you from? Well, all right. Where are you from? This man is from where? He's from Netherlands. He found himself playing football, and then he also found himself in the managerial action, still in Netherlands, to England, to Germany. But his Germany stint lasted just 3 months. 𝐾𝐈𝐒 is his name. After just 2 Bundesliga games, he was shown the exit. And being shown the exit, not the best of transfer window for Bayer Leverkusen, who won the title just 2 seasons ago. You count the players who are out of that side, they won the title 2 years ago. And then you blame the manager for the bad results in which the side they've gotten. Just 2 games, the manager was shown the way out. How would he have worked under immense pressure to play with those players there with Bayer Leverkusen? You mentioned the players who left. First, it was Jonathan Tah, the captain of the side. Then you mentioned Granit Xhaka, also another top player in that side. You mentioned Wales, Jeremy Frimpong, another top player in their side. Florian Wirtz in that side. Victor Boniface, well, maybe that took time.
Not mentioned
he
the
left.
one I mentioned.
Adli, yes, the
Moroccan.
first Moroccan to play for Bournemouth. Now, he also left the side. Their goalkeeper also left.
He left.
So you say, how was he going to work to get the best out of the players left with Bayer Leverkusen when he came on board, when all the winners left in one window?
I think it's more than just these players moving. There should be questions or inquest about
the appointment
of
Ten Hag.
Jumping. Did they have something against Ten Hag?
Immediately he came in, everybody was going away.
Like,
it was just.
We know that Florian Wirtz wanted to leave.
Yes,
but that's.
We knew people wanted to leave. Those two.
Yes, those
but
two.
Was Granit Xhaka
Jonathan Tah. Those 3 were known that these guys want to go. But immediately he came in, everybody wants to go. Even Victor Boniface, there were no talks of him wanting to leave.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to go. Granit Xhaka fought for, I want to leave. Even after the manager came out to say he's a big player, we don't want to lose him, he insisted that he wanted to go. Why is everybody leaving since he came in? Because this is understandably, they've lost some big players.
I'm even thinking that game they drew against Werder Bremen, just like the players.
Yes, the players intentionally did it.
Say, you know what?
I mean,
I'm not just conspiracy theory. I'm not saying that's what it is, but you can't be leading 3-1 and you have the numerical advantage and then you end up getting the point. So I look like the players don't like him. I don't know. But, there's also this news around that there's a way the club hierarchy they get the views of some of the senior players in the dressing room to say, you know what, we want to get the Ten Hag. What's the opinion? What do you
So how many senior players are left within that squad when most of them left?
At least there was still a few.
Some guys.
Like
the Granit Xhaka there.
he left.
He left.
He was
I'm not
there.
sure
He
he
was
went on
there.
any
He
training
was there when
session.
they appointed Ten Hag.
Yes, all of these players
before Ten Hag joined.
except Jonathan Tah.
Apart from him, who was the captain of the side, who left
Before
and the 2 players that also left that we knew they were going to go.
Which
I'm not saying we don't know discussion among the senior players in the squad to say who do you prefer, SAMIES, Ten Hag, Bitibaro. We don't like him, but they felt that John SAMIES can't say, but they felt like, you know what, Ten Hag has got a good resume. Ajax, It might not do well. I've done well with United, but still want something
2
with Manchester
titles
United.
in 2 years.
Yeah, so and if they're beating
Yeah,
Man
he
City in
was
the
sacked in his
final
third season.
against all odds in that one, so then my felt senior players, let's get him on board, see what works. But there's and these are just conspiracy. Sorry.
But then we mentioned players, Kosunu, one of those players as well, Pureta, one of those players. But what's the way forward for Bayer Leverkusen now? I know they got a few recruitments, but can it be like, and who's the manager who would see them through the remainder of the 2025-2026 season? Just 2 games. I think that's the quickest I've seen.
Yeah, that's
football.
the quickest in German football. The history before has 4 games before the manager was sacked. But I think for me, when you look at the numbers of coaches that are outside now that are not with jobs, I'm not very sure there is any top coach that is
Jose
outside without a
Mourinho.
coach. Don't put Jose Mourinho into this
there
league
is
again.
also,
Maybe they can go for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Maybe but they would have to lower their expectations. What they did under Xabi Alonso, they should just forget it for now. It can't happen again. Before Xabi Alonso, Bayer Leverkusen is not really a top team in German Bundesliga.
But they always find a way playing the Champions League.
Playing in the Europa League. In the last, before Xabi Alonso came in.
I'm saying they're like, what, 15, 20 years.
Yes.
It's a club that, yes, they haven't won the league.
Football.
We
The likes of
mentioned
Karim Bellarabi.
in the morning, I spoke about Hamburg, how they just lost it. But they're back in
Even
the
Hoffenheim.
bully league now. So those are clubs that when you mention, there's Werder Bremen, there's Eintracht Frankfurt. Bayer Leverkusen is not the club, because I can give you names of those players who have played for Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Rudi Völler,
Yeah.
one of the German best, won the World Cup with them, played for Bayer Leverkusen. So one way or the other, you cannot push them and say Bayer Leverkusen. Yes, they might have won the league, but they should be playing Champions League football.
I think Ole can get them that with the players they have now. Maybe not in the season, but bringing in the likes of Jarell Konsak, who is their goalkeeper, Franklin.
Any manager could have gotten them that if
the players
all of
want
those
them.
players.
Yes, if all of
there.
those players are still there.
Yeah.
Yesterday,
That
Perry
means
KP less than
something might be fishy.
I think it was Ten Hag.
It's
The
going-
fishy thing is Eric.
It's going back to what I said when you asked the question of the teams that didn't do well. Man, put together 160, 39. Put those
Some
ones
play.
together.
See,
got-
okay, now
they got a lot
let's
of money.
take
A
look at
lot.
it. Fran
Granit
Wheat,
Xhaka also left.
hold on. Fran Wheat, £125 million. Jeremy Frimpong, £40 million. Boniface, yes, on loan, but
Granit Xhaka
still
was
£30 million.
money.
Adley, £21 million. Kosunu, £21 million. Shaka, £15 million.
No, maybe those
Pureta,
money, maybe those sides are euros.
3 million pounds.
Maybe they are euros. Don't put them because the BBC always report in dollars. So
Yeah.
put them in dollars. I know it's still big money. Put them in dollars. Don't put them in pounds. Put them in dollars. They are still big money. So where did they?
They got money. They got money. They got a lot of money
So
this window.
the blame is not.
Vasquez joined on free.
Free.
Goalkeeper.
The Brentford
Who's the-
goalkeeper,
Brentford,
Which name did they mention
Flecken.
now? Which name did they mention now?
Lucas
Lucas Vasquez,
Lucas.
the former Real Madrid left back.
What's
Joined-
Right
what's
back,
left? What's
right
left?
winger.
Right back.
What's left with Vasquez? He's versatile. He can play right. He can play 7. What's left in Vasquez? It's player you bought on.
But Patrick Schick is still there.
Yeah,
Paying a
Patrick
dime.
Schick.
I just think that they should ask those questions. Say, why didn't we sign these players to come and help us? See, if I could say quickly, they've got a good resume. They can say to any player they're going to,
2 years
Mami,
ago.
We won the league. We went to the Europa League final.
We got to the Europa final. See, we still
Last
there.
season,
Champions
semi-finals
League,
of the DFB
as
Pokal
bad as it's bad reach. We still play.
Bayern. We lost to Bayern.
Bayern.
They're still playing this
Quarterfinals.
year.
Yeah, and we
They are
Champions
still in
League.
the Champions League this year.
And they finished second last season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now we go back to here now. Why can't you
You
join?
can come.
But
it.
I just think that management also have got their own fault.
I just feel this is just a runaway title for Bayern Munich, also in the German Bundesliga. Once again, you look at
As usual.
RB Leipzig losing
Just say is a Bayern winning the league again.
There's nothing. There's nothing in that league.
Cesco and
News Openda left Leipzig as well.
It left too. What's left?
Well, quickly, I know we are running out of time. I actually had the intentions of discussing Favour Philly on the show this afternoon.
Yeah,
but so
she has made the call.
Yeah, she has made the call, but there was one question she was asked also on social media. The question actually is, I want to go to that question now, which says, someone tell me an official was sacked for the negligence during the Olympics. And Favour Philly's response was, they are all still in office. They said I was paid compensation fee. This is to clarify, I got nothing from anyone at all, not even an apology. The words of Favour Philly will switch the allegiance. Eligible to represent Turkey in the year 2027.
And she will still get £5,000 from Turkey. That is because according
Which
to
is one thing Nigeria doesn't offer.
yeah.
So, in all of these things, Nigeria's also, they've released their team for the 2025 World Championship. For the discus throw, we have 𝐃𝐈𝐒 Leons, Ajayi Konsola for the 100 meters. Amateur, we have Ashadi Olatoye, 200 meters, Udodi Onzurike. In short put, the ever-present 𝐃𝐈𝐒 𝐂𝐄𝐑, 400 meters, 𝐶hidi Okezie, 100 meter hurdles, Tobiloba Amusan, whom of course a lot of us are still looking at her where she was unable to set the precedence for herself at the Olympic Games. Nathaniel Ezekiel in the 400 meter hurdle. This man just did so well just last month. In the discus throw, Amechi Obiageri, Samuel Ogazi in the 400 meters, Israel Okon, 100 meters, a long jump, Pristina Ochonogo. We have a long jump, Charles Godfrey, 100 meters, Rosemary Chukuma, and in the long jump as well, still, Ese Brume. Lots of activities for Team Nigeria later this month from in Tokyo, that's on the 13th, through the 19th of this month. But then, in other sporting stories, other developments, the NPFL Awards set to go down today. It was postponed.
It has gone.
Gone.
Yeah,
postponed because of Nigeria's involvement in the championship.
They've done it, and it's just not good for pictures, but they've done it. See, Nigerian sports is not for now because our time is up. These are the kind of people you put.
No, that was bad.
Let me just be going.
Let's be going. Tomorrow is another day where we'll come to discuss about sporting stories. That would be Wednesday, 7:40 to 7:55. It's covered in 15, and in the afternoon,